Welcome to the Rich Carroll program. I am your host, Rich Carroll. Paul Ryan is retiring from Congress. Yes, you heard that right. He's retiring. Politico first reported on the rumor back in 2017, and the rumor was confirmed this week when the speaker announced his retirement. He said he will serve until the end of his term, which will be up in 2019. So I wanted to take this opportunity to make a trip down memory lane, because Paul Ryan is one of the first politicians I can remember from when I was first getting interested in politics. And I can remember when Paul Ryan was selected to be Mitt Romney's vice presidential candidate. And Paul Ryan had a pretty good reputation at the time. Looking at his scorecard with FreedomWorks, he had a fairly good voting record going into 2012. He was garnering the praise of the right wing. And he was one of the reasons conservatives were going to be able to stomach a Mitt Romney presidency. Then I think back to when John Boehner resigned, and when politicians began to rally behind Paul Ryan to be the next House Speaker. That's when the red flags started to come up. You remember the name Harry Reid? He was the then Democrat majority leader in the Senate, and he endorsed Paul Ryan to be the Speaker. Boehner himself said he supported Paul Ryan as his successor. You see, the Washington establishment, they were making their pick for the House Speaker, and they were rewarded in December of 2015 when Congress sent a $1.1 trillion spending bill to then President Obama's desk. That was when Paul Ryan earned the nickname John Boehner 2.0. His big spending habits continued even up to the most recent $1.3 trillion omnibus spending bill, a bill which was released the night before the vote and contained funding for Planned Parenthood, sanctuary cities, no funds for an actual border wall, and expanded gun background checks separate from a national concealed carry reciprocity bill. Paul Ryan will leave behind a legacy of enabling Washington instead of standing up for the people. His spending habits go back to 2013 with the Ryan-Murray budget deal, in which the Daily Signal reported the deal increases spending immediately while delaying deficit reduction until later and trades some spending cuts for more revenue. Going forward, we need to instate a Speaker of the House who represents true conservatism rather than Washington. That is, if the GOP can retain the House, and given their recent track record, it doesn't look very promising. But some of the guys we might consider, Jim Jordan of Ohio, Dave Bratt from Virginia, Justin Amash of Michigan, Thomas Massey of Kentucky, Mark Meadows of North Carolina, or even Louis Gohmert from the great state of Texas. These names I've listed, they all have great scores with FreedomWorks and Conservative Review. But to make an impact on the next speaker, we need to make our opinions known to our representatives. And I'm going to share the link in my sources section so you can go get a hold of your congressman and make some suggestions as to who the next speaker should be. Now, I do want to note some good legislation that made it through the House under Paul Ryan's leadership. H.R. 36, the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Act. H.R. 3003, the No Sanctuary for Criminals Act. H.R. 3004, Kate's Law, and an honorable mention for the subpar tax cuts. Hopefully, with the retirement of Paul Ryan, the door will open to somebody who will stand on principle and not on looking out for Washington. I welcome you to get active in that process. I'm Rich Carroll. Thank you for joining me. God bless.